All right, cool. Let's keep this thing rolling. Dealing with variables. Now we want to look at um, augmented arithmetic. So uh, let's set foo back to 8. So I'm going to come back over here. And last thing I had was foo is carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. I'm going to set it back to 8. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry. No. Do 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 do. I was a beast at Guitar Hero from that song. Anyways, set food back to 8. Okay. If I want to add 7 to food, we could do it like this. You can see right here. I could say food gets food plus 7. So I couldn't just say food plus 7. That doesn't mean anything. That's not going to do much. Okay. But what I can do is I can say food gets food plus 7. All right. So what am I doing here? I'm on the left side of my assignment operator. I have my variable foo. And notice I didn't have to like reinitialize it. I didn't have to say var foo. Okay. Because foo is already being initialized. The file, JavaScript, the program already knows what foo is. So that on the left side of the assignment operator, I am here I have foo. On the right side of the operator, I'm doing an evaluation, okay? And I'm taking foo and adding 7 to it. So here I've set foo to be 8. So here I'm saying foo, which is what? 8. 8 plus 7, which is 15. So I'm taking that 15 and then storing it into my container foo. So basically what I've done is I took foo where it was 8, added 7 to 8, and then restored it into the same container foo. This is much like those country crock bottles, those tubs of fake butter that we used to get. I don't even see it anymore. I just don't even. No, it's not butter. It's spread. That's what it is, and which is why I stay away from it. Now, Country Crock won't give me $1 if they watch this video. Eat Country Crock, but 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 no, like those tubs. I know when I was growing up, we'd have that, and after we get done with that spread, my parents would reuse it, probably put like leftover spaghetti or some soup or what have you in there, and just repurpose that tub. It's why we have Tupperware now. But essentially, it's the same thing. It's like food. What had one specific value, we did something to food, and then placed it back inside of food. So food has been repurposed. All right, that's one way we can do that. But you can see here, say foo is not food. That's something easy to type. FOO, that's easy. The variable foo might not be food. Maybe the variable is applications received or something even more difficult to write. I don't want to say, hey, var applications receive. I'm already struggling. You see there right now. Say I've received 24 or 34 applications. I don't want to do the same process. Let's say I get 10 more applications. I don't want to say applications received gets applications received plus 10. I don't that's too much. I don't want to have to do all that. Okay. So what can I do instead of this this foolishness right here? Well, it's not foolishness, but you get the idea. You can see that with typing, and we're going to be doing a whole lot of typing if you're into this world. Your fingers can sometimes do what they want to do, or maybe they just get a little tired. So what we can do instead, we can simplify the operation by writing it to look like so, where I have foo and then plus equals 7. So instead of this foo plus gets foo plus 7 right here, instead of this, I'm just going to comment this out. I can say, excuse me, I can say foo and then plus equals 7. And that does the exact same thing. This is what is called augmented arithmetic. And all it is a shorthand method in doing what we just did. In doing, we're augmenting arithmetic. So I can do that like so here. If I console.log foo, that's going to give me 15. Let me open up my developer tools. Let's see, refresh. And see, there's 15. I can do that with addition. I can also do that with subtraction. So I can say foo and then minus equals 6. And let me console foo again. And that should give me 9. And it does. So I could do that with subtraction. I could do augmented subtraction. I could do augmented multiplication. So I could say foo star equals 3, like so. And that should give me 27. And it does. And I can do that with division. Foo / equals 3. And that should return me back to 9 when I console it. And it does. So augmented arithmetic, again, is just a shorthand method in performing this simple task, if you will, because again, my variable may not be foo. You know, my variable could be something, you know, much longer, much more complicated to type. And in which case, I want to simplify it as best as I can. So that will just help me to eliminate errors. And real quick, I want to talk about comments in this video. So we have two types of comments in JavaScript. We have what are called single line comments, and we've seen those. A single line comment is made by using 2 forward slashes, like so. And see, here's an example. This is a single line comment. And then we have a multi-line comment, and it begins with a / and a star, and then ends with a star and /. And with the multi-line comment, we can write multiple lines of stuff. Okay. And you can see, you should have noticed by now, whenever we're typing out a comment inside of JavaScript, we notice when I go to the console, we don't see anything. Nothing shows up in the console. Now, if I wanted to go, say, to the sources, let me see. If I click on the source and there you go, right there. If I go to the source of the file here in Developer Tools, then yes, I can read the comments. So a couple things about comments. And what I did was I found the sources tab. I clicked on it, and then I went to the particular file, my app.js file. And when I did that, it pulled up the source file for what's here in the browser. So Comments are very important. With comments, you are able to, in very literal way, express what it is you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish. Okay, so they're important because as a developer, you like to, put notes. You would like to put notes inside of your code. Okay, doesn't have to be anything very long and extensive. In which case, if it does get that long, I like to make a text file to put long notes in there. However, for something short, brief like what we have here, the comments are very helpful because it helps you to kind of track your own thought process. All right. Also, as developers, again, very seldom do we work isolated. We work in teams. So you're able to share or convey the information with your team member, what it is you're trying to do. Let's say, Josh is working on this project and it's got to be done in a couple of weeks. Okay. He's working with Amber on this project. They're working together as a team, but Josh has to leave work for a couple of days for an emergency vacation to Cancun. So he has to like kind of put his work down. Like, I'm not gonna be doing any coding in Cancun. You crazy? So he puts his work down, which means Amber can pick up where he left off, and she's got it. She's capable, and so she can go through and look at his notes to see his thought process and see what he was doing. And so everything's all hunky dory. The workload gets transferred very easily without any major hiccups. We leave comments there. It helps us to do that. Okay. With that being said, notice again that the comments aren't showing up anywhere on the browser, nor are the comments showing up anywhere inside of the console. However, when I come over here to sources, I can see comments. I can read them. So be mindful of your comments. Don't put anything in there that you don't want to have jeopardize your career or your integrity or anything else for that matter. I have heard stories of that happening where, a developer was working on something, didn't care too much for the client, and built the project out, left a bunch of nasty comments about the client inside the code. They went and inspected the code, looked in the source, and all the stuff was there. Needless to say, it didn't work out too well for Buddy. So please just be mindful of that. If you want to write something real reckless about your client, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying if you do it, paper and pen can't go wrong there. Then you can set it on fire and burn all the evidence. But anyways, those are comments, okay, and that's how they work. So please, as you're working, please leave comments, leave good comments that help to explain what you're doing, help to kind of organize your thought process as you're working. So that's it with variables. Well, I'm not gonna say that's it. That's it for this lesson on variables. So we know how to create variables. We know how to initialize them. We know how to assign them. We know the conventions, the rules that we have for creating variables. Also, some good practices. We know that we can take variables and we can change the information in them as we need to. We also know a shorthand way of doing it by the use of augmented arithmetic. So that's it for this lesson. And the next lesson we're going to do is still be with data storage, but looking at how we can store multiple items as opposed to one. So you can catch me in another video. Like, share, comment, because I want to go buy some records and I need some money.